I never thought a brunch could feel like a funeral. But that's exactly what it felt like sitting at my parents' glass dining table. Sunlight pouring in through the massive windows, reflecting off crystal glasses and silverware I didn't recognize. The kind they only used when they wanted to impress. My mom had cooked a full spread: lemon ricotta pancakes stacked high, smoked salmon, mini quiches, fresh berries arranged in perfect circles like something off Pinterest. And yet my stomach was in knots, because whenever my family went this extra, it meant something was coming, something bad. Well, my mother said, clasping her hands together, smiling too wide, I'm so glad everyone could make it. My dad nodded, already cutting into his eggs Benedict like this was just another Sunday. My sister Vanessa sat across from me, scrolling on her phone, one manicured eyebrow slightly raised in boredom. She looked flawless as always, designer sweater, gold jewelry, hair done like she'd just walked out of a salon. Me, I was wearing my usual black hoodie and jeans. I'd come straight from my night shift at the hotel. No makeup, no energy, no clue why I'd even been invited. Vanessa didn't even look up. So what is this? Are we announcing another vow renewal or something? My mom laughed nervously. No, no, it's about something wonderful. That word. Wonderful. Every time my parents said that, it meant wonderful for Vanessa and devastating for me. My dad dabbed his mouth with a napkin and finally looked at us. We've made a decision as a family. There it was. I felt my shoulders tense. Vanessa finally put her phone down, eyes lighting up. Oh my God! Is it about the club? The club. I blinked. What club? I asked. Vanessa shot me a look like I'd just asked what the sun was. The country club, obviously. Greenridge. The one with the private golf course, spa, tennis courts. Yes, my mom cut in, beaming. We've been on the waiting list for years. My dad nodded proudly, and we finally got approved. Vanessa gasped, actually clapping her hands. No way! Dad, that's huge! I just sat there, silent. Because something about the way they were all looking at each other, it felt like I wasn't part of the picture. My mom turned to Vanessa. We decided to put the membership in your name, sweetheart. The room went quiet. Vanessa's mouth dropped open. Wait, seriously? My dad's smile dropped open. Wait, seriously? My dad smiled. You're the one who fits that lifestyle. You network, you socialize, it'll help you with your career. Vanessa stood up and hugged them both. Oh my God, thank you. This is literally everything. Everything. I felt my throat tighten. I forced a laugh. So, congratulations, I guess. My mom finally looked at me, that polite smile, the one she used on waiters. Of course, this is a family benefit. You can come as a guest sometimes. Sometimes. Vanessa smirked at me. If I feel like bringing you, there it was, the familiar sting. Ever since we were kids, everything went to Vanessa first. Better clothes, better school, better car. When I got into a state college on scholarship, my parents said, that's nice. When Vanessa dropped out of her private university, they paid for her to find herself in Europe. And now this, a luxury membership worth more than my yearly salary, just handed to her. I stared at my plate. My pancakes had gone cold. Wow, I muttered. That's great. My dad didn't even notice the tone. We think it's an investment. You know, networking with the right people. Vanessa already had her phone out again. I'm gonna call Jessica. She's been dying to get me in there. My mom leaned back in her chair, satisfied. I felt invisible. Like always, the conversation moved on without me. Tennis schedules, wine tastings, charity galas. I chewed mechanically, nodding when I had to. Inside, I felt small. Then my dad cleared his throat. Oh, and one more thing. My heart skipped. Here we go. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out an envelope. Cream-colored, thick paper, gold seal. It looked expensive. This came for you this morning, he said, sliding it across the table toward me. I frowned. For me? Vanessa glanced over. What is it? Another bill? My mom chuckled. Probably from the hotel she works at. I picked up the envelope. It was heavy. There was no return address. Just my full name printed in elegant script, not typed. Handwritten. My fingers hesitated. Something about it made my skin prickle. I slowly broke the seal. Inside was a single card, deep blue, embossed gold lettering. I read the first line, and my breath stopped. Vanessa leaned forward. Well, what is it? I didn't answer. I couldn't. My eyes scanned the words again and again, just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. My mom frowned. Sweetie? I finally looked up. My voice came out barely above a whisper. It's an invitation. Vanessa rolled her eyes. To what? A wedding? A baby shower? I swallowed. No. My hands were shaking now. It's from the Royal Institute of Cultural Affairs. The table went silent. My dad blinked. The what? Vanessa laughed. Okay, that sounds fake. I kept reading. They're inviting me to attend their annual international gala in London. Vanessa stopped laughing. My mom's smile faded. My dad leaned forward. In London? I nodded slowly. They're offering full sponsorship, travel, accommodation, VIP access. Vanessa stared at me like I'd just spoken another language. Why would they invite you? That question, sharp, direct, poisoned. I looked back at the card, at the gold crest, at my name, because honestly, I didn't know either. I think it's because of my writing. My mom scoffed softly. Your little blog? It's not little, I said more defensively than I meant to. It went viral last year, the essay about cultural identity. My dad rubbed his chin. And now some royal organization wants you, I nodded. They want me to give a keynote speech. The words felt unreal even as I said them. Vanessa burst out laughing. Oh my God, this has to be a scam. My face burned. It's not. I've heard of them. They're legit. My mom reached for the card, inspecting it. Well, it does look real. Vanessa crossed her arms. So what? You're just gonna go to London now? I hesitated. I guess, yeah. The air shifted, subtly, but I felt it. Like a crack in glass. My dad smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Well, that's interesting. My mom nodded. That's very nice, dear. Vanessa didn't say anything. She just stared at the card. At me. Her jaw was tight. I knew that look. Jealousy, but not the playful kind, the ugly kind, the kind that always meant trouble. That afternoon, Vanessa followed me into the kitchen while my parents cleaned up. So, she said casually, leaning against the counter, this royal thing, when is it? Next month. And they're paying for everything? Yes? She tilted her head. Even business class? First class? Her eyes flashed. Wow, must be nice. I shrugged. I didn't ask for it. She laughed softly. No, of course not. Things just fall into your lap. I didn't like her tone. What's that supposed to mean? She smiled sweetly. Nothing. Just funny how you get this big fancy trip when I just got a club membership. I blinked. You literally just got something worth tens of thousands of dollars. She waved it off. That's different. That's practical. I stared at her. How is a country club practical? She stepped closer. Because it helps my future, networking, status, and my invitation doesn't? She looked me up and down. Be honest, you really think you belong in some royal gala? That hit harder than I expected. I felt my chest tighten. Yes, I said quietly. I do. She laughed again, but it wasn't warm. Okay, Cinderella. I walked past her. I didn't want to fight, but deep down I felt it. This wasn't over. A week later, my parents called another family meeting. This time, it wasn't brunch, it was dinner. Steak, wine, candles, too formal, too deliberate. Vanessa was glowing, wearing a new dress. Probably already imagining herself at the country club. My dad cleared his throat again. That same tone. We've been thinking about your invitation. My stomach dropped. Okay. My mom smiled tightly. It's such a big opportunity. International travel. High-profile people. I nodded. I know, Vanessa chimed in. And it's kind of dangerous going alone. To another country. I frowned. It's London, not Mars. My dad raised a hand. We're just concerned. My mom leaned forward. So we thought, maybe it would be better if Vanessa came with you. The words didn't register at first. What? Vanessa smiled like she'd won the lottery. Yeah, as your +1. I stared at them. There is no +1. It's an individual invitation. My mom waved her hand. We're sure they can make an exception. Vanessa added quickly. I mean, I have way more experience with formal events. I could help you not embarrass yourself. My chest burned. You want to take my invitation? No, my dad said calmly. We want to share it. As a family. Vanessa tilted her head. Besides, it's not like you even know how to act in those circles. I looked at all three of them. And suddenly it clicked. They weren't proud of me. They weren't happy for me. They saw this as something to take, to manage, to control. My mom reached across the table and placed her hand over mine. Sweetheart, think about it. Vanessa represents us better. I slowly pulled my hand away. This is my achievement. Vanessa's smile faded. So you're saying no? I'm saying it's not yours. The room went cold. My dad's voice hardened. Don't be selfish. Vanessa leaned back, eyes narrowing. You wouldn't even have this if we hadn't raised you. That was it. The line. The one that always broke me. But this time, something inside me snapped differently. I earned this, I said. Not you, not the club, not anyone. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. My mom stood up abruptly. We're just trying to help you make the right decision. I stood up too. I already made it. Vanessa laughed bitterly. Fine, go play princess. Let's see how long it lasts. I walked out of the house that night shaking. Not from fear. From adrenaline. Because for the first time in my life, I hadn't given in. And I had no idea what that would cost me. 3 days later, I got another envelope. This one wasn't fancy. It was from my parents. Inside was a printed email from the Royal Institute. My eyes scanned it, and my heart stopped. We regret to inform you that due to a request for transfer of attendance, your invitation has been temporarily placed on hold, pending verification. My hands went numb. Transferred. Requested. By who? I already knew the answer. I grabbed my phone and called my dad. Straight to voicemail. I called my mom. No answer. Then Vanessa texted me. Just one line. Don't worry, I fixed it. And in that moment, I realized they hadn't just tried to take my invitation. They had already started stealing it. I stared at Vanessa's text until the screen dimmed. Don't worry, I fixed it. Searching, my hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. Fixed it. Like my life was some broken app she could just update. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Again. Voicemail. I threw my keys in my bag and drove to my parents' house like I was on autopilot. It was raining. Not a gentle drizzle. Full-on storm. Wind whipping the trees. Water streaking across my windshield so hard I could barely see. It felt cinematic, like the universe was matching my mood. When I got there, all the lights were on. Their cars were in the driveway. They were home. They were just ignoring me. I didn't knock. I used my old key, the one they forgot I still had. I walked in and heard laughter from the living room. Vanessa's laugh. That high, fake giggle she used when she thought she'd won. I stepped into the doorway. They were all sitting on the couch, wine glasses in hand, looking at a laptop on the coffee table. My dad noticed me first. His smile froze. Oh, you're here. Vanessa turned slowly. Her eyes widened for half a second. Then she smirked. Wow, you look soaked. I didn't sit. I didn't take off my jacket. I walked straight up to the coffee table and slammed my phone down in front of them. What did you do? My mom blinked innocently. What are you talking about, sweetie? The email, the hold, the transfer request. My voice cracked on the last word. Vanessa crossed her legs. Relax. I just emailed them to ask if I could attend instead. Instead, that word echoed in my head. You what? She shrugged. You weren't being cooperative. I figured I'd handle it myself. My dad sighed. Vanessa was just being proactive. Proactive. My chest felt like it was collapsing inward. You tried to take my invitation. My mom frowned. We didn't take it. We just explained the situation. What situation? That you're inexperienced, Vanessa said bluntly, and that I'd be a better representative. I laughed. It came out shaky and ugly. You told a royal institution I'm not good enough? She tilted her head. I told them the truth. Something inside me went completely still, not angry, not sad, just cold. I picked up the printed email from the table, the one from the Institute. My mom had highlighted parts of it, like it was homework. You said you fixed it, I said quietly. Vanessa smiled. Yeah, I gave them my resume, my social profiles, my charity work. I stared at her. You don't do charity work. She blinked. Exactly. I'm starting. My dad laughed softly. She's resourceful. I looked at him. At my mom. At the 3 people who raised me. And suddenly I saw it. They weren't confused. They weren't misguided. They knew exactly what they were doing. They just didn't care. You went behind my back, I said. All of you. My mom stood up. We were going to tell you. When behind my back, I said. All of you. My mom stood up. We were going to tell you. After she took my seat on the plane, Vanessa rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. I felt tears burning my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I worked for this. I spent years writing, submitting, getting rejected. I finally get recognized and you try to steal it? My dad's voice hardened. Lower your tone? No, I said. For once I won't. The room went silent. Vanessa stood up too. You should be grateful. I'm making this better for the family. For you, I shot back. She stepped closer. You don't belong in those circles. They'll eat you alive. I looked her dead in the eye. You're just scared I'll finally outshine you. Her face changed. Just for a second, I hit something real. She slapped me, not hard, but loud. The sound echoed in the room. My mom gasped. Vanessa, I touched my cheek. Slowly, not because it hurt, but because it proved everything. She had nothing left but violence. I picked up my bag. I'm done, I said quietly. My dad scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. I walked to the door. My mom followed. You're overreacting. Come back and we'll talk like adults. I turned. Adults don't steal their daughter's future. And I left. That night, I didn't sleep. I emailed the Royal Institute myself. I explained everything. The transfer request, the family pressure, the impersonation. I attached screenshots, texts, proof. My hands were steady this time because I was done being scared. 2 days later, I got a reply. Not from an assistant, not from an automated system. From the director of the institute himself. We are deeply concerned by what you've shared. Please rest assured, your invitation remains valid and has not been transferred. We take matters of misrepresentation very seriously. I read it 3 times. Then I started crying, real crying. The kind that comes from relief, not pain. But it didn't end there. The email continued. Additionally, we would like to invite you to participate in a special closed session with our advisory board. Your experience highlights important ethical issues we actively address. A special session. With the board, I laughed through my tears. Vanessa didn't just fail. She triggered something bigger. The real twist came a week later. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. But something told me not to. Hello? Is this Vanessa Carter? I froze. No, this is Vanessa Carter. I froze. No, this is her sister. Pause. I'm calling from Greenridge Country Club. My heart skipped. Yes? We're doing a routine background review for new members. My stomach dropped. And there appears to be a discrepancy in the application. Several listed achievements and affiliations cannot be verified. I smiled slowly. I'm not surprised. There was another pause. Is there anything you'd like to share? I thought about it. About years of silence. Years of being small. And I said the truth. I think you should look closer. 2 days later, Vanessa's membership was revoked. Turns out, she'd exaggerated everything. Fake charity. Fake recommendations. Fake elite connections. Greenridge didn't like liars. Especially ones who embarrassed them. She called me screaming. You ruined my life. I laughed. No, you just finally told the truth and couldn't handle it. My parents called too, angry, accusing, crying, saying I'd betrayed the family. I blocked them all, every number, every account. I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. A month later, I was in London, first class, window seat, champagne in my hand, looking at clouds that felt like a new world. At the gala, I wore a simple black dress, nothing flashy. No borrowed status, just me. The director introduced me. My story, my work, my voice. I stood on that stage and spoke. Not about revenge, not about pain, but about identity, about being unseen, about what happens when people try to steal what they didn't earn. The room stood and applauded, not for my family name, not for wealth, for me. After the event, a woman from the board approached me. We'd like to offer you a long-term collaboration. My heart almost stopped, a paid one. I laughed. I figured. I didn't go back home. I moved to a new city, new job, new life. Sometimes I see Vanessa's social media. She still pretends everything's perfect, but I know. The club rejected her, the institute blocked her, and the family that always chose her? They lost both daughters, one to arrogance, one to freedom. And honestly, I finally got the better invitation. Not to a royal gala, but to my own life.